What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today I'm doing a Tri-Brigade deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely consistent deck that summons out some of the coolest link monsters in the entire game, like Tri-Brigade Shirog the Ominous Omen, which is such a cool card. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like in your name description every single video, getting get signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Froctal. This card is a definite 3 of in the deck and has an amazing ability that you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to send a level 3 or lower beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your deck to the grave, which is a great ability to send your copy of Tri-Brigade Kit from your deck to the grave off this card's ability. And all of your Tri-Brigade monsters actually share an amazing common effect that you can banish any number of beast, beast warrior, and or winged beast monsters in your graveyard to special summon a beast, beast warrior, or winged beast link monster from your X deck with a link rating equal to the number of cards that you banish for this effect. Also, you can only use beast, beast warrior, and winged beast monsters as link material for the rest of the turn, which is not that big of a deal because it's all we're using anyways. But this card is definitely a 3 of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Kit. Kit is a definite 3 of as well, and the card you're always sending to the graveyard off your copy of Froctal, and this card is amazing because if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send a Tri-Brigade card from your deck to the grave, which is always going to be your copy of Tri-Brigade Nearval. Nearval is definitely the card you want to send to the graveyard off your copy of Kit, because this card, if it is sent to the graveyard, lets you search a Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand, which is incredible to be able to search out your copy of Tri-Brigade Karass. Karass is really good as a 2 of in the build because this card is a great ability that you can discard one other beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster to special summon this card from your hand, which is just such a good ability to get an additional monster in the graveyard so you can use your Tri-Brigade's effects and also get a special summon, which is amazing. We then play 3 copies of Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat is definitely a 3 of in the deck, and this is one of the best normal summons in the entire build, as you can send this card to the graveyard to special summon out 2 level 3 or lower beast type monsters from your deck, but their effects are negated and also they're destroyed during the end phase, but that's not that big of a deal because what we're trying to do is get additional monsters on our side of the field so that we can link climb, and the card you're usually summoning off this card's ability is your copies of Kit. We then play a single copy of the Fabled Cerberil. Cerberil is really good as a 1 of in the deck because if this card is discarded to the graveyard, you get to special summon it. So it works really well with a bunch of different cards in the deck to be able to special summon this card back to your side of the field and use it as a tuner to go in for a synchro play. We then play for our hand traps. We're going to be playing a single copy of DD Crow. DD Crow is really good as a 1 of in the deck because this card is actually searchable in this build and it helps you get rid of cards out of your opponent's graveyard. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's a definite 3 of in the deck to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird is really good at stopping your opponent from searching anymore for the rest of the turn, and if you do drop this card at the right time, it can usually end games. We then play a single copy of Nibiru, 1 copy of Ghost Mourner, a single copy of Ghost Bell, and 1 copy of Effect Veiler. The reason we're playing these cards at 1 each is because we are playing Crossout Designator, so these cards are very important for the deck to basically stop them from being used against us, but also give us a bunch of options in this build to use against our opponent. I really like this number of hand traps in the deck because we're also playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, but I feel like this is the best number for hand traps. You can maybe play more copies of Nibiru if you want to break your opponent's board, but it's still really good in this deck like this. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. This card is amazing as a 1 of in the deck to basically just stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play 3 copies of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is really good in the deck to basically just stop your opponent from hand trapping you, just like your copy of Called by the Grave. Plus, we're playing basically every hand trap that we could get hit by, so this card is really good in the build as a 3 of. We then play 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Roar. Tri-Brigade Roar is really good as a 2 of in the build because it has the ability if you control a link monster, you can send a Tri-Brigade card from your deck or X deck to the graveyard, which is a really cool ability to use with this card because it's going to help you get additional monsters in the graveyard and is basically a Foolish Burial. It also has the ability that then you can target one effect monster on the field and apply the following effect based on the type of card that you sent to the graveyard. If you sent a monster, you change the targeted monster's attack to 0 until the end of the turn. If you sent a spell, you negate that monster's effects until the end phase of the turn, and if you send a trap, return that monster back to the hand. That's why I actually play 2 copies of Roar, is so just in case I need to use this card as a negate, I can send another copy of Roar to the graveyard, which is just really, really cool. We then play 3 copies of Fire Formation Tinky. This card is basically the Rhoda for the deck, searching out our copy of our Frogtall directly from our deck to our hand, because you always want to see Frogtall on your opening hand, or a copy of Tinky, so that you can start all of your plays. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Revolt. Tri-Brigade Revolt is definitely a 2-of in the build, and this card is basically soul charge for the deck. It lets you special summon a number of your Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters that are banished or in your graveyard, but negate their effects. Then if any of those effects resolves, you link summon 1 Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters, meaning you step into a copy of Shirog during your opponent's turn. This card is an amazing 2-of in the build because you can use 2 of them in a game, but usually you're just using 1. But it's absolutely an incredible card to be able to use to basically bring back 4 of your monsters and step into a copy of Shirog so that you can win the game. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is really good in this deck as a 3-of, just to stop your opponent's monster effects and also protect yourself from this card with Crossout Designator. And it's really good to be able to set this card to your side of the field and lock down an entire column of spells and traps, which is just absolutely incredible. So, that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Shirog the Ominous Omen, which is actually one of my favorite Link monsters ever created because of its artwork alone. And definitely comment down below what your favorite Link monster is ever down in the comments down below. But this card is really good in this build as a 3-of because it has the ability, if this card is special summon, or if another Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster is special summoned to your side of the field, then you can banish a card on the field. And it doesn't even target, which is so incredible about this card. It also has the ability that if this card is sent to the graveyard, then you can actually add a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of banished Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters, meaning you can actually search out cards like DD Crow from your deck to your hand off this card's ability, which is absolutely insane. We then play a single copy of Rugal. Rugal is really good as a 1-of in the deck, but you can change this card out for Doom Eagle. I have dropped Doom Eagle out of my build, but you can change them out if you want to, because you don't summon Rugal all that often. We then play a single copy of Bearbrum. Bearbrum is really good as a 1-of in the deck, and this card is incredible because it helps you get to your copy of Revolt. It has the ability you can discard 2 cards and then target one of your banished level 4 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters and special summon it, which is great to be able to bring back one of your monsters to your side of the field. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Tri-Brigade spell trap from your deck to your hand, then place a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for Tri-Brigade monsters, which is not that big of a deal because after we summon out whatever we're going to link summon using this card, so we can search out our copy of Revolt, we're probably going to be just setting the copy of Revolt and passing over to the opponent. But this card is really good in the deck to be able to play, so we can get to our copy of Revolt. We then play 2 copies of Frigid. Frigid is really good as an extender in the deck because this card actually has the ability that during your main phase, you can special summon a level 4 lower Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster from your hand. Also, you cannot use monsters as link material for the rest of the turn except Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can draw a card and then place a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, which is great to be able to dig into the deck with this card's ability, and also maybe put a brick that you don't need back into the deck. We then play a single copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code is an amazing 1-of in the deck to be able to pop multiple cards on the field, and usually by the time this card comes out to your side of the field, you're already going to have a copy of Shirog in the graveyard, so you can make this card come out at 6,300, which is absolutely insane. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is so easy to make in this deck, and it's a really awesome card to be able to play because it's very easy to make multiple monster negates with this card. We then play a single copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card is so easy to summon in the deck, and if you guys would like a more budget option in this card, you can play something like a copy of Nightmare Unicorn, or a copy of even Underworld Goddess, or maybe even a copy of Nightmare Phoenix to be able to pop spells and traps for more budget options in this card. Or even a copy of Tri-Heart, the Scareclaw Tri-Heart, as a more budget option because I used to play that in this deck because it's basically Baguska. But this card is great to be able to play in the deck because it is a basically double interruption against your opponent. We then play a single copy of Donner. Donner is great to be able to pop cards on the field, which is why we play this card as a 1-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Ancient Warrior's Oath, Double Dragon Lords. You're never summoning this card off of its own summoning requirements. You're always summoning this card off the effect of one of your Tri-Brigade monsters because we do not play Ancient Warriors in the deck to be able to link summon into this card. But it's really good in this deck to be able to make with your Tri-Brigade cards because it has the ability to quick effect, send a card from your hand or field to the grave, and then target a face of card your opponent controls and return it back to the hand, which is just a really good effect to be able to bounce a card off the field. We then play a single copy of Lightheart because it is a link 1 and it's very easy to make to give us an additional Beast Warrior to be able to use as link material. We then play a single copy of Alamirage. Alamirage is really good in this deck as a 1-of, just in case we open up, say, like a copy of Kit. We can normal summon Kit, link it away for Alamirage, and then Kit will send Nirval. Nirval will then add a copy of Karas or a copy of Frogtall, which is just really good to be able to do in this particular build because it still makes it so you have combos, which is incredible. We then play a single copy of Herald of the Arclight. Herald of the Arclight is really good as a 1-of in the build because you can make this card with a level 2 plus your copy of Cerberus, which is just really, really good because this card is a walking negate. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is absolutely amazing. If you guys have never played Tri-Brigade before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's just a really, really fun deck. Especially being able to summon out cards like Shirog is just such an awesome boss monster. And don't forget to comment down below what your favorite Link monster of all time is. Mine is actually probably the copy of Shirog because I absolutely love his art and he's such a cool boss monster. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name scratched in every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. And we're on the road to 100K subscribers, so definitely subscribe because it really helps out the channel. So that's going to do it for this one, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.